So New York, they pulled the mask ban. And so you don't have to wear the masks anymore. Let me see if I can find this. Here it is, New York City supermarket. It's called Morton Williams Supermarkets, and it's caught up in the conflicts on the masks. Morton Williams customers are sharply divided over the grocery chain's decision. Controversy kicked off Monday when the popular supermarket emailed customers about its decision to comply with the new CDC coronavirus guidelines starting Wednesday, when New York State will drop the mask mandate. The short email just explained the new policy, and the Big Apple grocer said, "We will not ask for proof of vaccination." Well, that was stomping on a hornet's nest. And the chain put out another email just a few hours later. "We recently sent you an email explaining our policy regarding masks. In doing so, we knew that we were stepping into a hornet's nest and that many would feel that this is a premature decision better suited for a later day. But we didn't know that we would be held hostage. So help me. I am now in front of this flag of the woke culture, and I'm reading this statement. We will put up signs encouraging customers and employees to continue wearing masks regardless of their vaccination status. And please be respectful to those who do not feel comfortable." Wait a minute. They're now telling the non-mask wearing population of New York that they have to be kind to the mask wearing people of New York who are not following the science. Now, I have no problem. You want to wear a mask for the rest of your life? That's your choice. I think you're missing out. I think it's ridiculous. But
especially if you're ugly, that's choice. Okay. Go ahead. Continue to do it.
Yeah, like I wish there was a mask for my entire body, but there's not yet.
That's clothing. That's what clothing is.
Yes, you're right on that. Unfortunately, it doesn't do enough for me anymore. I need a moo-moo. Anyway, if you don't want to wear a mask, fine. If you do want to wear a mask, fine. If you want to get the vaccine, fine. You don't want to get the vaccine, fine. I don't really care. We are on the mend. The CDC, if you want to follow the science, then why aren't you following the science when the CDC scientists finally come to the conclusion that you don't need to wear a mask? You're fine.
Yeah.
You're fine.
I think you hit on the most frustrating part about this, because yes, it's really frustrating when they don't follow the science and all of that. The excruciating part of this is being berated for a year for not wearing a mask outside by the left.
Killers.
And now
killers.
The second the CDC admits what we've all known the entire time, that there's no outdoor transmission largely of this virus. There have been 0 documented cases outside of close conversation outdoors in the entire world since the beginning of the pandemic, according to the New York Times, not me.
Let me just say that number is 0.
0.
So I want you to consider that.
Yeah.
It is 0.
Right. So 0 is the number. For an entire year, we've taken people screaming at us for following the science. And now, day one, after the CDC decides to admit what has been known about vaccinations for a very long time, that this is not something you need to worry about, then they're like, oh gosh, please don't criticize. You guys aren't going to get upset about this, are you? You guys aren't going to start criticizing people who make different choices than you. Everyone has a right for their own decision making and risk assessment, and you need to make sure you don't be mean to others. You're telling us that after this year? You're coming to us with that nonsense after all of this?
After Rachel Maddow actually had the set, she did too. She had the set to be able to go on television and say, I'm going to have to rewire my whole thinking because I have to stop seeing people not wearing a mask and think, you're a danger. You're going to kill somebody. Yeah. You're selfish. You're a
A
Republican.
denier.
What?
And
I mean, the problem is they have viewed America through this lens. Their little mask is like a little armband saying what party they belong to. Say a little red armband. And anybody who didn't wear a mask, that was like a Jewish star. They could see who the enemy was. And they liked those categories. It's us versus them. I don't like that. I never have liked that. I wouldn't like it if it was reversed. And, you know, they've been pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And now that the science agrees with those who didn't wear a mask or don't want to wear a mask anymore, now the science says, yep, you don't have to wear a mask. They're going crazy and asking for mercy. And yet they bashed this supermarket so badly for just complying with the law and science that they humbly withdrew and said, wait. We'll ask everybody. We'll ask everybody if they'll still wear a mask. That's insanity. That is mob rule. That's not America. That's not science. That's mob rule.